Luxury sedans. Luxury sedans trace their lineage back to the elegant horse-drawn carriages of European nobility, reimagined with engines instead of horses. The modern luxury sedan took shape in the 1930s when brands like Mercedes-Benz, Rolls-Royce, and Cadillac began crafting vehicles that prioritized comfort, refinement, and status above all else. These cars are defined by their sophisticated engineering, meticulous attention to detail, and emphasis on passenger experience. They feature soft-touch materials, handcrafted wood veneers, and buttery leather that creates an environment more akin to a high-end living room than a mere vehicle. The hallmark of any true luxury sedan is its ride quality, floating over imperfections in the road while maintaining a vault-like silence in the cabin. The Mercedes-Benz S-Class stands as perhaps the quintessential example, pioneering technologies that eventually trickle down to mainstream vehicles decades later. The BMW 7 Series combines luxury with a more driver-focused experience, while the Rolls-Royce Phantom represents the ultimate expression of automotive opulence, with each vehicle taking hundreds of hours of handcraftsmanship to complete. Luxury sedans are not simply transportation, they're statements of achievement, rolling sanctuaries from the outside world. Sports cars. Sports cars emerged in the early 20th century when automobiles transitioned from curiosities to performance machines. The term itself originated in Europe, where lightweight, nimble vehicles designed for spirited driving on twisty roads gained popularity after World War I. A true sports car prioritizes driving engagement above all else. The connection between driver, machine, and road is sacred and unfiltered. They typically feature two doors, low seating positions, and balanced weight distribution that allows for precise handling and communication through the steering wheel. The engine placement is critical, often mid-mounted or rear-mounted to optimize balance and traction. Sports cars celebrate mechanical purity, with many enthusiasts still preferring manual transmissions that require skill and involvement to master. The Porsche 911 represents perhaps the most enduring sports car design, maintaining its distinctive rear-engine layout since 1963, while continually evolving. The Mazda MX-5 Miata proves that horsepower isn't everything, delivering pure driving joy through lightness and balance rather than brute force. The Ferrari 488 represents the exotic end of the spectrum, where cutting-edge materials and racing technology create performance that borders on sensory overload. Sports cars are not about practicality. They're emotional machines designed to delight the senses and connect humans to the mechanical art of driving. Muscle cars. Muscle cars burst onto the American automotive landscape in the 1960s, born from a potent mix of youth culture, horsepower wars, and Detroit's manufacturing might. The concept was brilliantly simple. Take an ordinary mid-size car body, stuff it with the largest V8 engine possible, and sell it at an affordable price. A true muscle car embodies a distinctly American philosophy, straightforward, unapologetic, and focused on raw power over handling finesse. These machines are characterized by their front engine, rear-wheel drive layout, aggressive hood scoops, bold graphics, and the unmistakable rumble of large displacement V8 engines. The interior design is often Spartan compared to European sports cars, with the focus squarely on the performance experience rather than luxury appointments. The 1964 Pontiac GTO is widely considered the first true muscle car, igniting a horsepower arms race that produced legends like the Chevrolet Chevelle SS, Dodge Charger RT, and Ford Mustang Boss 429. These cars weren't about lap times or corner carving. They excelled in straight-line acceleration, with quarter-mile times serving as the ultimate bragging rights. The golden era of muscle cars was relatively brief, curtailed by rising insurance costs, emission regulations, and the 1973 oil crisis, but their cultural impact has endured. Modern interpretations like the Dodge Challenger Hellcat, with its supercharged 700-plus horsepower engine, prove that the muscle car formula remains as intoxicating as ever. SUVs trace their DNA back to military vehicles, like the Willys Jeep of World War II, evolving through utilitarian four-wheel drives before exploding into the mainstream in the 1990s. The SUV concept represents a compelling fusion of passenger car comfort with off-road capability and commanding driving position. These vehicles are defined by their raised ride height, available all-wheel drive systems, and versatile interiors that can be reconfigured to prioritize either passenger comfort or cargo capacity. The body-on-frame construction of traditional SUVs has increasingly given way to unibody designs that offer better on-road manners while sacrificing some off-road ruggedness. The segment spans an enormous range, from compact crossovers barely larger than hatchbacks to massive three-row family haulers. The Jeep Wrangler maintains perhaps the purest connection to the original SUV concept, with its removable doors, fold-down windshield, and genuine trail-conquering ability. The Range Rover pioneered the luxury SUV subsegment, proving that off-road capability and premium appointments weren't mutually exclusive. The Ford Explorer helped cement SUVs as the default family vehicle in America, while the Porsche Cayenne demonstrated that even sports car manufacturers couldn't ignore the segment's popularity. SUVs have fundamentally reshaped the automotive landscape, combining practicality, perceived safety, and lifestyle aspirations into a package that consumers have found irresistible across the globe. Hatchbacks. Hatchbacks emerged in Europe during the 1930s, but gained their defining form in the 1970s as a practical response to urban living and rising fuel costs. The hatchback formula centers on a two-box design with a rear door that swings upward to provide access to a cargo area that's integrated with the passenger compartment rather than separated as in a sedan. This configuration creates a vehicle that occupies a compact footprint on the road while maximizing interior versatility. True hatchbacks are engineering exercises in space efficiency, transforming from people carriers to cargo haulers by simply folding the rear seats. They're characterized by their upright stance, excellent visibility, and intuitive functionality that makes daily life easier. The original Volkswagen Golf, known as the Rabbit, in North America, established the template for the modern hatchback in 1974, with front-wheel drive, transverse engine mounting, and a focus on practical utility. The Honda Civic hatchback brought the concept to a wider global audience, while the Mini Cooper demonstrated that practicality doesn't have to come at the expense of driving enjoyment. Hot hatchbacks, high-performance versions like the Ford Focus ST and Volkswagen Golf GTI, created an entirely new category that delivers sports car thrills in a practical package. In Europe and Asia, hatchbacks remain mainstream family vehicles, while in North America, they've often been positioned as entry-level options or enthusiast specials. Hatchbacks are rational vehicles that appeal to both the head and the heart. Electric vehicles. Electric vehicles actually predate gasoline cars, dominating the early automotive landscape in the late 1800s before internal combustion engines became more practical for long-distance travel. The modern EV revolution began in earnest with the 2008 Tesla Roadster, which proved electric cars could be both desirable and viable. Electric vehicles are defined by their powertrain architecture, one or more electric motors powered by a large battery pack, completely eliminating the engine, transmission, and exhaust systems found in conventional cars. This fundamental difference creates vehicles with instant torque delivery, regenerative braking that recaptures energy, and a center of gravity typically lower than equivalent gas-powered models due to floor-mounted batteries. The driving experience is characterized by silent operation, seamless acceleration without gear changes, and the ability to refuel at home rather than visiting gas stations. The Tesla Model S revolutionized the luxury sedan segment with its minimalist interior centered around a massive touchscreen and over-the-air updates that improved the car over time. The Nissan Leaf made EVs accessible to mainstream buyers, while the Porsche Taycan proved that electric power could deliver genuine sports car thrills. The most significant challenges facing EVs remain charging infrastructure, battery material sourcing, and range anxiety, though each generation brings improvements. Electric vehicles represent not just a new propulsion system, but a fundamental reimagining of what a car can be and how it integrates with our broader energy systems. Pickup trucks. Pickup trucks originated in the early 1900s when farmers began modifying Model T Fords by removing the rear body sections to create utility vehicles for hauling goods. Today's pickup traces a direct evolutionary line from those humble beginnings, maintaining the core principle of an open cargo bed behind a closed cabin. A true pickup truck embodies a work-first mentality, with body-on-frame construction providing the durability to withstand heavy loads and rough conditions. These vehicles are defined by their practicality, the ability to transform from worksite workhorse to family vehicle to adventure enabler with minimal compromise. Their high ground clearance, available four-wheel drive, and towing capacity make them uniquely versatile. The Ford F-150 stands as the quintessential example, maintaining its position as America's best-selling vehicle for over 4 decades by continuously evolving while staying true to its utilitarian roots. The Ram 1500 revolutionized the segment by introducing car-like coil spring rear suspension that improved ride quality without sacrificing capability. The Toyota Tacoma built its reputation on legendary reliability that appeals to outdoor enthusiasts who push their vehicles to extremes. Modern luxury trucks like the GMC Sierra Denali prove that work sites and premium appointments aren't mutually exclusive, with prices reaching well into luxury car territory. Despite their utilitarian origins, pickup trucks have become powerful cultural symbols of independence, capability, and a distinctly American perspective on personal transportation. Minivans. Minivans revolutionized family transportation when Chrysler introduced the Dodge Caravan and Plymouth Voyager in 1983. Though the concept had roots in earlier vehicles like the Volkswagen bus, the minivan's genius lies in its singular focus on interior space efficiency and family-friendly features above all other considerations. These vehicles are defined by their one-box design, low floor, high roof, and sliding doors that create unmatched accessibility in tight parking spaces. The interior architecture prioritizes flexibility, with removable or fold-flat seating that can transform from people mover to cargo hauler in minutes. Modern minivans feature innovative storage solutions, from underfloor compartments to built-in vacuum cleaners, that demonstrate deep understanding of family needs. The Honda Odyssey refined the formula with car-like driving dynamics that helped reduce the stigma associated with practical family vehicles. The Toyota Sienna introduced available all-wheel drive to the segment, while the Chrysler Pacifica embraced hybrid technology to address fuel economy concerns. Despite facing fierce competition from SUVs, minivans maintain a loyal following among those who value function over fashion. No other vehicle type can match their combination of passenger space, cargo capacity, ease of entry and exit, and family-focused features. Minivans make no pretense about their purpose. They are the most rational solution to the challenges of moving multiple people and their belongings in comfort and safety. Hypercars. Hypercars emerged in the 2000s as a category beyond even supercars, representing the absolute pinnacle of automotive performance, technology, and exclusivity. The term itself was popularized by Bugatti with the Veyron and cemented by the Holy Trinity, the McLaren P1, Porsche 918 Spider, and Ferrari LaFerrari. Hypercars exist at the bleeding edge of what's physically possible, with 4 wheels, often serving as technology showcases that push engineering boundaries regardless of cost constraints. These machines are defined by their extreme performance metrics, top speeds exceeding 240 miles per hour, 0 to 60 miles per hour times under 2.5 seconds, and price tags in the millions. Hypercars utilize exotic materials like carbon fiber, titanium, and even gold to save weight or enhance performance. The powertrains increasingly feature hybrid systems derived from Formula One racing technology, using electric motors to fill torque gaps and enhance the capabilities of already extraordinary combustion engines. The Bugatti Chiron represents the brute force approach, with its 16-cylinder engine producing 1,500 horsepower, to achieve speeds once thought impossible for production cars. The Koenigsegg Jesko attacks performance through lightweight design and aerodynamic innovation. The Rimac Nevera demonstrates that electric hypercars can deliver performance that defies belief, with nearly 2,000 horsepower and acceleration that approaches the limits of tire technology. Production numbers are intentionally limited, often to fewer than 500 units worldwide, ensuring that these vehicles remain rare sights even among the ultra-wealthy. Hypercars aren't transportation, they're rolling manifestations of human ingenuity and ambition. Convertibles. Convertibles were the original automotive body style, as the earliest cars were simply open carriages with engines. They evolved from necessity to choice when closed cars became technologically feasible in the 1920s. A true convertible celebrates the sensory experience of driving, the wind in your hair, the sun on your face, and an unfiltered connection to the sounds and smells of the surrounding environment. These vehicles are defined by their retractable roofs, which can be soft fabric tops or complex folding hardtops that offer better security and noise isolation when closed. The structural engineering is particularly challenging, as removing the roof, a key structural element in most vehicles, require significant reinforcement elsewhere in the chassis to maintain rigidity. This often results in additional weight compared to equivalent fixed-roof models. The Mazda MX-5 Miata perfectly captures the essence of the affordable convertible, prioritizing the joy of open-air motoring over raw performance metrics. The Porsche 911 Cabriolet proves that removing the roof doesn't have to compromise the driving dynamics that define a sports car. The Mercedes-Benz S-Class Cabriolet represents the Grand Touring tradition, designed for elegant long-distance travel with the top down. Modern convertibles have addressed many historical drawbacks through innovations like heated seats, neck-level air vents, and wind deflectors that make open-air driving comfortable in a wider range of conditions. Despite practical compromises in cargo space, structural rigidity, and all-weather capability, convertibles maintain their appeal by offering an emotional driving experience that no fixed-roof car can match.